Hey guys, Scott here, and today I want to talk about. Whoa, look at that. Dude, the lighting makes it look like I have a giant hole in my hair. Oh, that's weird. Anyway, I want to talk about Deceive Inc. Seeing as how this has been a game a lot of DVD content creators have been messing with, mostly just out of sheer boredom because of Night and Skull Merchant. We really just have not had much to do. And to fill the gap until the anniversary, where hopefully something great comes out, a lot of people have been checking this out. And so I wanted to go over just my initial opinions on the game in case anyone gives a shit about that, because frankly, there's nothing else to talk about in DBD right now. So I figured I would talk about this for a minute. If you're unaware what Deceive Inc. is, it's a pretty simple game where a couple of people have to try to get this briefcase that's in a vault and escape with it. The problem is everyone else wants the same briefcase, and so you're going to kill each other trying to get it. And the whole thing with the Deceive aspect is most of the time you are disguised as either a box or a person. Like, you can basically take the cover of whoever that you're looking at, and so you can become that person. And there's hundreds and hundreds of NPCs in the actual levels, and the NPCs all move very erratically. So it ends up being like really hard to tell sometimes if it's a player or an NPC, because NPCs will like run into a corner, stop, turn around, like run into a corner again, wait there, and then like just walk away. So they have a lot of erratic behavior, so it becomes kind of hard to tell. And also, when you're moving as an NPC, your facing angle does not match your actual facing angle. It matches the direction that you're walking. So if you're walking forward but looking behind you, it still looks like you're walking forward. So if you're suspicious of someone trailing you, you can actually be looking at them while it appears you're not looking at them. So that kind of stuff is cool, and that's where the whole deceive part comes in. The basic gameplay flow of this game is you all load in, you collect intel around the maps. The intel is used to open basically mini vault doors that have switches. Switches open the main vault. Once the main vault's open, you all go in, try to get the briefcase, get to an extraction point, and that's how the game works. So I have a couple of problems, though. I do think the game is very, very fun. I was having a good time with it. But I do think it has a couple of issues. And mostly it revolves around the end game. So once all of the mini switches basically are activated and the main vault opens, I've noticed a lot of games turn into sort of a stalemate, and this is probably the biggest problem with the game. The game does not reward people for being the first one to do something, if that makes sense. Other than opening the mini vaults, because they have like rare, I guess I'll say loot. You customize your own loot to find in the match, and so they're really nice, and you get like 15 additional health in these things. But for the most part, once the final vault is open, you don't really have that much of an incentive to be the first person to get it, because as soon as someone opens that door, everyone is going to swarm you and just beat the shit out of you. Now, if there's only one or two players left, it's not a big deal, but if there's a lot of people, then you're going to be in this scenario where you're just getting third-partied nonstop if you're the first person to go. So, as people tend to do, optimize the fun out of any game that they play and find the most optimal strats, the smartest thing you can do is just wait for someone else to go get it. Wait for someone else to do your job for you, and then just shoot them as they're coming out. And that has been the easiest way to win, I've noticed, and I don't necessarily think I like that. At the same time, earlier in the match, there's almost no real reason to kill people unless it's in a very private area, because third partying is a huge, huge issue with this game. Third partying, if you're unaware, is when you are in a firefight with someone and someone else shoots you in the back while you're fighting somebody else. And you're basically rewarded for doing that in this game. And I've noticed a lot of the highest level people, but basically the people that have been playing the most that I've died to, for example, I've noticed a lot of them don't even give a shit about stealth in the early game. When they're in the main hallways with hundreds of people and stuff like that, they'll just jump around. They'll be super obvious because they know there's not much of a reason to open fire on someone in the open like that. And sure, you can spend time trailing them and stuff, but if they don't really care, they're going to be basically getting stronger while there's just no incentive to shoot them. Because, you know, the NPC guards will shoot you. Other players might see that, because as soon as you shoot, your cover is blown. And so we're in the scenario where early game, there's not really much of a reason to shoot anybody. And late game, there's not much of a reason to actually do the objective anymore, because as soon as you do, everyone is going to third party you. And it just puts you in this like weird scenario where I'm not sure what like the correct fun version of the game is supposed to be. Because played at its most optimally, again, I'm saying this with 10 hours in the game. I might have no idea what I'm talking about. If that's the case, feel free to correct me. But from what I can tell, it always seems like the first person that goes in is the first person to die. And I don't see enough of an incentive to be the first person to actually get the whole briefcase thing. Now, when you have the briefcase, you can activate using intelligence, like basically a wall hack, where you can see exactly where every other player is, which is great. So you can sort of get the jump on people if you manage to be stealthy coming out of the vault. That's the problem, though. It's hard to be stealthy coming out of the room that, if you access, basically guarantees you are a player. So at that point, it starts being hard to be stealthy. And also, everyone else can see periodic pings of where the person with the briefcase is. So everyone will be swarming in on your position regardless. So it really doubles down on being like, why would I be the first one to go? I just wait for some poor schmutz to get it, and then I just shoot him. Or wait for him to get into a firefight with someone else who's thinking the same thing I am, and then shoot that guy instead. Basically, every single time I won, it's because 3 people were fighting each other, and I just shot 2 people in the face. And it's just like, okay, I guess I win. And it never really felt super satisfying. So this game is not best played as like a Call of Duty type game, because if you want to play a real, in-depth shooter, you do that, or Counter-Strike. And it's also not super high on the Deceive factor. It seems to be a little bit of both, but not really focusing enough on either. Deception is not important enough, and I think actual shooting and stuff like that is a little too important. And I don't like the in-between there. For example, one of my favorite games of all time, Trouble in Terrorist Town, is basically, if you're unaware, it's a Gary's mod where it's like the progenitor of Among Us, but like better. I wish that game was more popular. In that game, you could win almost by killing nobody. You could win truly just by straight up deceiving everybody. For example, there's a detective role in that game, and if the detective dies, they drop a DNA scanner, and you as a traitor can pick up the DNA scanner and start trying to basically mimic what the detective was doing, and you can basically start accusing people and getting them to infight each other and kill each other. And sure, towards the end, it starts being suspicious when you are you're not the detective, and you keep getting people killed, basically. But at that point, you've done so much damage just by deceiving people that it feels super rewarding. Seeing as how I am Vile Scott, I love deceiving people, and that type of gameplay was super fun. But I have found deception in this game, at the very most, all deception does is give you the initial shot on somebody, or the initial melee attack, which is useful, usually in a firefight between 2 equal match players. Whoever does the initial shot is going to be the one that is going to come out on top. But I don't like that that's really the only benefit of deceiving people. Now, there's a couple of powers that the characters have, like some of them can go stealth, some of them can body swap with another NPC, and you can have little minor moments of deceit like that, but that's not really I like the social aspect of deceit. I think that is a really fun gameplay element. That's why, honestly, everyone loved Among Us so much. It's the same thing. This game doesn't seem to really have that much of that. There's actually very little deceiving going on in Deceive Inc., and it's more about who is going to get the drop on someone and waiting for someone to do the objective of getting the briefcase. Other than that, I still think the game is really fun. I'm just not sure how much longevity it has based on its gameplay loop, sort of rewarding stalemates in an inactivity until the very end. So I'm not 100% sure how I feel about the game. I do think it's really fun, and it's been a wonderful distraction for DBD until we get the anniversary. But like I said, I don't know how I feel about the longevity of it. Maybe I just simply need to play it more, and there's more of a meta stuff I just simply haven't uncovered. I'm not even going to pretend to know what I'm talking about with this game. I'm very, very new to it, and that's totally, totally fine. So I am perfectly okay with being wrong here, but to me, this is just first impressions kind of stuff. So overall, yeah, game's fun. I'm just not sure how I feel about it yet. I'd like to give it more time before really giving a true final opinion, but those are my first impressions of it. That's it. Thanks for watching. Also, here's the rest of this match where I got, I think, my second win, so there you go. Wait, there's fall damage? It's low, but that's the box is for. Okay. First spy kit thingy. How do you do that? Oh. Oh, wait, that's the fucking briefcase.
Got it. I'm so sorry, but I might need this.
Rival agent detection
Oh,
mode
cool.
engaged. Rival agent
That's what it
detection
looks
mode
like.
Activated. Initializing rival agent detection mode.
Kind of want some health, but... Social healing? Yeah, I need a blend thing, though.
Rival agent detection mode engaged. Initializing rival agent detection mode. Activating rival agent detection mode.
Oh, that uses it every time I press the button. Shit, okay. I didn't realize. Okay.
Rival agent intel depleting rapidly. Intel running low.
That's cool, though. Food and sit? I can't really sit. I'm holding the case, dude.
Intel depleting rapidly.
Hmm.
Health critical.
Sure is, buddy. Damn it. I mean, fuck.
Running low on intel.
Hmm. God, I wish I could get to a health thing. I'm so dead here. Like, I don't have time to do this. Because he's probably gonna go heal and come back. That's what I would do. I burned all my intel way too fast. Wait, there's cake. Easy. I'm like two-shot here.
Action vehicle awaiting. Keep a cool head.
Probably food in the green room to my right. Where's there a green room? Hit basically every shot. Dude, that guy's gun does no fucking damage. That guy's gun does like 10 damage a hit. What the fuck? I had 20 health and he hit me and I had 9 health. That's so little damage.
Stay a rookie for long.
Most of the damage is him throwing it at me. He's better at evading fights and stealing resources than fighting. Yeah, he doesn't seem like he does a shit ton of damage at all. They're buffing him a bit. He should. That dude definitely should have killed me. He has the strongest ability, though. I guess that's the trade-off, yeah.